Next item that we are going to talk about is grouping objects in SketchUp, and this is a super important thing to do. It's going to keep your model from sticking together. If you ever come across where you draw something and then it sticks to another item, grouping is a great way to keep everything separate. So let's just kind of jump into it. If you select an item, none of this is grouped right now, but let's say we've got these two lines here. We're going to shift and click both so they're both highlighted. If I right click and just say make group, that turned these two items into a group. And I'm just going to make a copy and show you that on the outside over here. And I'm just going to go ahead and click out of there. And this little T here, which is not even connected, is a group. Now, if we wanted to get into that and connect those lines, just double click. We're going to hit our line tool and then bring it all the way up to here. Hit escape. And then we're going to use our pointer tool to click outside of that group. And it has to be in blank space out here. It can't just be on another part of the model. Sometimes I guess you can, but typically you have to have some kind of blank space that you can kind of click out of. But that is a grouped object now at this point in SketchUp. Same for a face. If you double click in here, right click and just hit make group, that turned that little square into a group. We can double click it. If we wanted to push pull it, we can bring it up, hit our space bar to get to our pointer, click out of that grouped area, and now we have a grouped box. So I'm going to show you the difference here. We'll go ahead and click our box, and we can't actually get into that until we double click into that grouped object. And there is a thing called nesting. So once we are in a group like that we're seeing here, let's say we wanted to create another box in here, and we want this to be a separate box from this box right here. If you go ahead and select this while you're in that group, you can actually right click again, hit make group, and then just go ahead and get into this group. So now we're going to pull this up a little bit further. If I can do it. Oops, undo. And we're going to pull that up. Undo. There we go. And we're going to click out of this. So we'll double click out. Just get out of this. So now we've got all of this group, but we're nested one more group in. So we're going to go ahead and double click into this group. And this is still its own group. But we can actually change the faces of this if we wanted to. So if we wanted to colorize this box, but we can do each face individually. But if we wanted to color this box, it's only going to color outside of that group. So it'll look like it's colored, but it's actually not colored properly. You actually need to go a little further in, and then you can actually color each individual face. So that is nesting. It's helpful for when you're doing a lot of things like furniture, or maybe you've got a grill island with your grill island, the stone is all grouped, but then you also have the appliances. Maybe it's nice to nest those appliances within that group as well. I try not to go too far. You could do a group within a group within a group within a group, but it can be a lot of extra clicking that you probably don't want to do. So if you're going to nest something, try to do it maybe one or two groups within that group, and probably just leave it at that. I don't really know if there's a reason to go much further, although some models that you bring in from 3D Warehouse will show you models that are just grouped and grouped and grouped and grouped. It's crazy. So that is grouping, and it's super helpful. Like I said, you can move this around from your model, nothing's stuck. This one is not grouped, so if you see that, you can see how everything bends. You can't just slide this around like you can do this box. I can take this face, and if I use the control button, I can move that around, but you can't just move the whole box. So that is grouping.